new head coach of the Canfield Volleyball team, a very impressive Canfield Volleyball team, and Krista Nesbitt. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
I mean, Coach, I think it's fair to just start off. Where's the excitement levels at coming into this program? And in saying that too, let's also get a chance to meet the team. I know losing Abby Householder is kind of the big story in Canfield, but it seems like there's other Abbies there that are willing to take over.
Yeah, of course. When you lose a big player like Abby, everyone I think kind of questions like, where's this team going to go next year? And we have had a great summer. My girls have been working really hard. We actually have 8 seniors right now, and all 8 of them will play and contribute. All of them have varsity experience. So I'm really excited. I actually think we're going to have a really successful season. We're going to be really competitive. We're just going to play a slightly different game than we played last year. So I'll kind of go ahead and talk about the girls then kind of coming back are both of my middles. So Abby McElroy and Addie Fonderland, both of them played middle for us last year. Then I have Riley Kincaid. She was one of our setters last year. She again will be setting this year. Carly Slavin, last year she was kind of a hitter for us. This year she's transitioning to a setter, but also going to play some right side. Our back row, I really think, is kind of what defines us. We're a really scrappy team. I think we have the best passers around. Alana Lawson will play left back for us. Parker Wilkins, for the 3rd straight year, will be our libero. And coming back this year, she did not play last year, is another senior, Maddie Cleveley. She will be a back row and outside for me. And then our other senior we have is Bella Bruno, and she'll play some right side for us. That's just our senior group. And then on top of that, we have Bella Bucciarelli, who played for us last year. She'll be an outside for us. She's a junior. We also have Caitlin Bacha, who will be playing for us on the right side. And then we really are pretty deep this year. I have about 3 to 4 other girls who will kind of be utility girls for me, play front row, back row. That's Brinkley Bear, Meredith Ross, Alexis LaFour, and Kate King. So we have a lot of talent. We have a lot of depth, and I'm really excited.
And man, when you say depth, you mean it, because I know a lot of volleyball programs right now struggling with numbers. You're not. You have a freshman team. You have that many numbers that you're able to put out a freshman team. Coming into your first season as head coach and being able to have that many toys in the toy chest, what's it like to have so many people interested in volleyball in Canfield?
It's awesome. I mean, the volleyball program in Canfield has always been a well-respected program. The girls work really hard. Last year, we did not have a freshman team. So when I took over this year, that was one thing I really wanted to get back, is get that freshman team. And I think it's really important that the freshmen are playing together as a freshman group. Even our middle school numbers were really high this year. So we're, as coaches, ecstatic with our numbers. And really, it's nice to be able to have some options.
I mean, the freshman team, the JV teams are great too, but having so many seniors, how do you intend to walk that fine line of making sure you compete, get yourself a good tournament draw, but also make sure that you get some of these younger girls experience varsity-wise along the way so they're not, I guess, culture shocked by it next year?
Yeah, I think so. I think the biggest thing is that I'm going to focus on this year. So I never want to be like, I'm going to have to play younger girls because these girls will be gone next year. The nice thing about the seniors is they do have experience and they get to be those great role models and those leaders for the younger girls and kind of show them the ropes. With that depth, we will have a lot of girls rotating in and kind of getting that experience. But our seniors are really going to be leading the way there, and we're going to kind of work other girls in around it.
Coach, when we're looking at this schedule for Canfield, it is tough as always. It's always a tough schedule for Canfield. You play in a great conference in the AAC. I guess we'll start off by talking about that conference and what you think are some of the big benefits to competing in it, and what you expect from the conference this year.
I think our conference, we have a great conference. It's great competition. There's no one in our conference that we're going to play that's going to be an easy win. I mean, every single game I think can go either way, and we got to show up and we got to play to win. It was kind of fun this summer. We did a lot of different camps. We got to run into Howland at YSU. We got to see Boardman. We did some summer league stuff with them. We saw Fitch at Massillon. So we've kind of had like a little sneak peek of some of the teams that we'll see. But we know that if we want to win and winning the conference is a goal of ours. And we know we have to show up, and all 6 of our girls on the court are going to have to show up to play.
How exciting was it for you to take this job, and what kind of made you pick Canfield, and what went into the decision to become the head coach?
So I teach in Canfield. So I'm a 7th grade math teacher here. So this is now my 3rd year coaching in Canfield. So when I got hired here, I went from coaching at Boardman to now coaching at Canfield. And so when this job opened up, I was really excited to kind of step into that varsity position. And I couldn't ask for better parents and better girls to kind of help me with that transition. And honestly, I'm just really excited to get kind of started. It seems like we've been doing summer stuff all leading up the last 3 months. So I think we're ready to go, and we're ready for games to start.
How much of a benefit was it for you to already be in the program? I mean, you were JV coach last year. You've been there. You know what the players bring to the table. You know what this program's about. You know kind of the standard that's been set. How much of a blessing was that with all the other things that comes with taking a head coaching job?
Oh, that was so nice. I mean, I already knew the girls that were in there. I already had those relationships built with them. The other nice thing is a lot of our other coaches kind of changed. We brought in another freshman coach. So like a new set of eyes is always beneficial too. Our middle school coaches have been really helpful kind of watching things too. So getting different perspectives that weren't here last year, but also kind of keeping the consistency. And we know how we want practices run. They know my expectations. They know what I'm like as a coach. So it made it an easier transition into that role.
How pumped up are you and the girls to be now at Division II school and seeing different competition it's going to look like during that tournament?
Yeah, we're really excited for that. We hope to get, kind of make a nice little run in tournament. Being Division II definitely helps with that, but we're excited to be back to Division II.
Still playing a Division I type of schedule.
Yeah.
So when we look at some of these other teams that pop up, Hoban, Coventry, Girard, all these non-conference opponents, I mean, how much do you think this schedule is really going to prepare you for that tournament that we're talking about in Division II now?
I think the more competition we can have, the better off we're going to be when it comes into tournament time. Our goal is to compete in every single game, and we're hoping that by when tournament comes in October, we're playing our best volleyball of the season. And I think the only way that we can really do that is if we continue to push ourselves all season. So we love these games. Like our first game of the year, we're starting off with Girard, who is one of the better teams in the area, and we're excited. We're just excited to go out there, play against some really great competition, and work really hard.
You look at the teams that you're playing too. I mean, you said it yourself. This is going to be a tough schedule ahead. But I'm curious about the culture of Canfield now. What is a Krista Nesbitt at the helm culture look like in Canfield, and what do you expect from these girls going forward?
I think my biggest thing as a coach that I expect us to work hard and compete in everything we do. On top of that, as coaches, we met this summer and we said, our goal is to share our same love of volleyball we have with our girls. And from grades 7 through 12, we want it to just be like family. And we've done so many team bonding things all summer, just like grades 7 through 12, to kind of get everyone together, because it's really fun to kind of watch our seniors. They've kind of been able to grow through this program, and they have a great bond. And I really think it makes all the difference when you trust the people that you're on the court with. So our biggest thing is we're going to be a family. We're going to work really hard, and we're going to compete.
Excuse me, just one question for you. I was just wondering, for you, what is, I guess you could say, what is your biggest strong point, the biggest plus you think you bring to the table as a coach? And then what is also something that's not necessarily a weakness, but something you feel like you need to get better at, and it might take some more time?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I always think there's things that I can always be working on. Just like I asked my girls to always get better, as a coach, I need to be able to do the same thing. I think my strength that I probably bring is my energy level. I think we have a lot of fun. I think it's pretty positive. And I think when the girls are playing more relaxed and kind of having more fun, I think that's when we play best. Something this year as a head coach that I kind of want to work a little bit harder on is getting to know the teams that we're playing against. So kind of getting to know their strengths, their weaknesses, and how I can pick that apart and put my girls in the best position to succeed. As JV, you don't spend as much time watching other teams before you play them. So I think that's something that I'll definitely have to work on this year, kind of to put my girls in the best position to be successful.
Since you are the new head coach at Canfield, I want to give the Canfield community a little bit of time to get to know you and know you off the court a little bit. What are some things that you like to do hobby-wise outside of obviously your job in coaching volleyball?
Biggest things for me, I love sports, so I could play any backyard game. I love hanging out with my family. We love watching the Guardians, the Cavs, the Browns, Ohio State. That's a big part of us. I just got married in April, actually. So right now I'm adjusting to married life. It's been really fun. We actually have 2 dogs at home. I have a medium golden doodle, and we just got a Bernedoodle puppy. So that's been keeping me a little extra busy. Besides that, I like traveling, I like working out, and honestly, I love my job. I love being a teacher, and I love coaching.
How's the new husband handling the fact that for the next 3 months you're going to be knees deep in volleyball?
He's used to it by now. I signed myself up for all the extracurriculars, so I think he kind of knew what was coming.
Did you have to kind of instruct him in the ways of volleyball, or is he kind of taking it? Like, does he like the sport? Does he come and support you guys? I mean,
he does. He loves watching it, and I'm starting to get him now all the terminology, and so he's starting to pick up. Like, he used to know them by like hair color. Okay, the passers are the blonde ones, but now he's starting to learn all the names and all the positions.
I'm sure the first question he asked was, "Why does that one girl wear a different jersey?"
Yeah, that seems to be everyone's.
That a lot. Like, what's a libero? What's the point of that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's always the pickup. What about things that as a teacher that you think you take as a teacher that you bring into your coaching style?
I think it's easy for me kind of to see when things are going bad, or when something, we're trying to explain something and they really kind of don't know what's going on. So I think for me as a teacher, I'm able to kind of break that down a little bit and see kind of when we're struggling. The other thing is I teach math, so I love numbers. So I feel like most of our drills, we have a goal set for us or a time limiter. We're trying to get this many perfect passes or this % of something. So I think that part kind of carries over into kind of how I set up my practice plans.
There are a lot of numbers in volleyball stats. It's a very mathematical sport. What stat do you look at the most when you're trying to judge either your team or an opposing team on what their biggest strength is? Like, what is the main stat in volleyball that you think is the most important?
As a team, we've kind of discussed 2 different stats that we want to focus on this year, and one is our own serving. We really, really think that that's a strength of our team, is to be not only like aggressive servers, but accurate servers. And the other stat that we look at a lot too is our serve receive, and how long are we getting stuck in certain rotations, and what's our serve receive percentage? Are we siding out in 1 point? Are we siding out in 5 points? And for us, those are 2 kind of big areas that we're looking at to see how can these little areas make a difference in the game.
Coach, before we let you go, I want to give you the chance to highlight your coaching staff. I know you as a head coach are going to get a lot of interviews. You're going to get all the limelight, but I know you have great people set behind you that are helping you make this program great. So who you got working for you, and who are some big names that help you make this Canfield volleyball program what it is?
Absolutely. I mean, I could not do any of this without my coaches and without the support. I'm going to start with our 7th and 8th grade because we have new coaches pretty much throughout the whole program. Our 7th grade coach is Amber Chapman. I actually graduated with her from Boardman in 2016. Our 8th grade coach is Carrie Wyan. She is a teacher in the district as well. And the 2 of them have been doing a great job kind of setting that foundation with our girls down there. Our last year's freshman coach moved up this year to JV. It was Holly Rolla. She changed it. She just also got married. She's now Holly Lamping. So she's my JV coach. And then I have another coach who also just got married. So she's a Canfield graduate. It was Amanda Blanco. She's now Amanda Fitzgerald, and she's our freshman coach. Besides that, I have great parents and I have great boosters that support us and support the girls and will do anything for this program. So without all of them, none of this is possible. So while I'm on here, I would like to thank them again for everything that they do for us.
Apparently, if you work in the Canfield volleyball program, you get married real quick.
Yeah, I mean, we had like 4 people get married in the last year.
Coach, thank you so much for hopping on, giving us a good preview of Canfield Volleyball. We wish you the best of luck. We look forward to continuing our coverage of your team, and hopefully we can get you on a couple of more times during the season and talk about Canfield's success.
Absolutely. I would love to. And thank you for all you do for us and our program and the girls.